Hello, Paula. Welcome to this interview with my wonderful client, Paula. I'm so super excited.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Paula, we're meeting today because I would love for you to share like your story. You were one of the participants on my mastermind called Attract an Emotionally Available Partner.
hmm
And I would love if you could tell people a little bit about what your love life was before and what has changed, and where you then will go to where you're now. Because your journey
Yes,
has been quite a journey. That's why we are
yes,
doing this.
yes. It's
Yeah.
definitely always evolving. Before I did the mastermind program, I just did not have a boyfriend for over 10 years. I did a lot of dating, but nothing would stick. It was like a pattern of men who were nowhere near worth it. They didn't treat me right. They were not consistent in their effort. They were not consistent in communication. I had no idea what we were. I just didn't feel like I was important. And it was just that time and time again. It was just, I just did not feel special. I did not get a commitment. And this pattern went on for over 10 years. And while I did the program, all of a sudden I had all these choices, and they were better choices than normal. I could see that. So before the mastermind, I was basically dating a lot, but getting nowhere. I just had guy after guy, and none of them were good for me. None of them would treat me right. I didn't feel important, and I never knew where it was going. They
Mm.
weren't consistent. So I just couldn't find a decent man, and I could not get a commitment. And this went on for over 10 years.
Oh my God.
And yes, and during the program, I already saw a change. I started attracting better men. And then towards the end and after the program, I actually met a really great man, and now I have a boyfriend. So I'm here to say that the program completely works, and it's changed my life.
Yeah, it's amazing. But also, there was like this very, very, very interesting hiccup, right? I don't know if you want to talk about it because he
Yeah.
basically tweaked your energy a lot, right? Because
hmm
when you came to me, I remember you were saying, I can't go past 1 or 2 dates. They just disappear. They are not committed. They treat me badly, essentially. And then one day you wrote us a post in the group, I remember, a Facebook group. Oh, girls, sorry, I haven't been around for that long, but I did the work, and guess what happened? Suddenly, I've got all these guys. Was it like you were suddenly getting a lot of attention from men?
I just had a lot of choices, and they were all
But
pretty good choices.
yeah,
Yeah, I had
yeah,
options.
yeah, yeah. And there were different men, right? There were different.
Yeah, all different types of men. Yeah. I
Mm,
usually date the same type, but it was pretty much all different types. Yeah.
mm, mm. And who did you attract initially? Like,
I attracted guys who were immature, not committed, not ready, who were kind of like just out there having fun,
mm,
didn't really make me feel like I was the special girl. Like they were dating multiple people for sure,
mm,
for
mm,
sure.
yeah,
hmm
yeah, yeah. And then something happened, right? Something happened.
Are we talking about when I kicked the guy out of my house?
Oh, whatever comes to like your. I was actually thinking, we thought that you actually broke the pattern at some point and you attracted a guy actually, let's talk about that because this guy, blimey, this guy actually seemed emotionally available, right? Do you remember that guy?
Yes,
That,
yes, there was.
let's share
There,
that because I think that's
okay.
the biggest conundrum for women.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll explain to people why, right?
Yes. So I attracted a great guy who was older than me, and he was being pretty consistent in reaching out to me and seeing me. But he had a lot going on in his life. His mother had cancer, and he was fighting for custody of his kids. He was going through a divorce, but he never told me that he wasn't available. He seemed like he was available, and I really had hope for this one. But still, even though he was a nice guy and I liked him, my needs still were not being met. I still felt like I was last priority.
Mm-hmm.
And these are important things in his life. His family is important, his mom is important, but I was still the last priority. I still wasn't getting what I wanted in a relationship. I did not feel important, regardless of what it was, the excuses, even if they're good excuses. I still wasn't getting what I wanted, and I still wasn't feeling important. So I had to just be strong and still put myself first and say, I'm sorry. this isn't working for me. I don't feel important. There's no communication. I just need to move on. It doesn't seem like it's a good time for you. And ever since I did that, that's when things started with the new guy. I made space in my life for the new guy who seems to be the right guy.
This is amazing because, and I'll zoom in on that for a little while, if that's okay,
Yes,
because this
sure.
is actually one of the biggest issues for a lot of people. So you met
Right.
this guy, and he seemed very, very, very different, and he
Yes.
actually seemed like he really cared about you, and you
Yes.
were quite close, right? So he seemed to be meeting your emotional needs for a while.
Right. Right. Definitely, I thought there was potential here.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and he was kind of listening, I think, to you. He was, like
Yeah.
he seemed to be emotionally available, basically.
Oh, yeah. We had really good conversations. I felt comfortable talking to him. I wasn't afraid to tell him what I was looking for. It didn't scare him off. So it was like another test, but a bigger test.
It was
A
a
bigger test.
yeah,
Are you still going to put your wants and needs and feelings
exactly.
first? Because I wasn't before. I was just going with the flow. Whatever the guy wants, right? This time I was like, no, I still don't feel good. I don't feel
Yeah.
special.
And there was a
So
difficulty in that because he had so many personal problems, like the divorce, the custody of the children, the mom being ill. And I remember you were
mhm.
texting me and saying, but I can't tell him what I need because he's in this
Yeah.
situation, right?
I felt like guilty putting myself first.
Yeah.
I felt like his reasons were legitimate, but that was the big test. Like, are you still going to put yourself first? Because I still would not have been getting anything met. I would have been on the back burner.
Yeah.
So that's not what I'm looking for,
Yeah.
So,
So when you cut that relationship off, when you stopped that, what happened?
this guy, there was this great guy I'm dating now he was in the picture. I just didn't meet him yet. I kind of put him off because I was dating someone else. I said, let's hang out. He wanted to anyway. I said, let's hang out. We hung out and then it just went from there. Like it just went. There was no confusion, no questions about where we were going. Nothing scared him off, and everything was going at the right pace. And he invited me to his cousin's wedding, even before making me his girlfriend. It just went the way it's supposed to. So I feel like because I did what I did, I opened the door for the right person.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know, but I think what we want to share is that by then you were already a different person, right?
Oh, completely.
How were you showing up differently with him as
Um,
you, as Paula, as a woman,
yes. I just keep putting myself first and my needs first. So if anything concerns me or bothers me, I have no fear or anxiety in bringing it up to him. I know that he's going to hear me out and fix it. So our conversations about any issues are just wonderful. It's just so easy,
Yeah.
you know?
That's the
It's
thing.
so
When you meet the
easy.
right person, right? It's just
Yeah,
easy. It's just easy.
right,
It's just
right. Hmm.
But I'm just actually curious, and I don't know. I'm going to ask you something, and I actually don't know. Like, were you at any point like before like being really honest with him? Because it does require a lot of honesty. Looking for love means that you have to be like really honest with the other person about what you want,
Right.
what you need, how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Were you worried that if you express something, he might just disappear, or?
No, because I'm so like, because of your program, you said to stay married to your intention and put yourself first. So I really did. And recently, I mean, everything was going great. He still did not make me his girlfriend right away as fast as I would have liked. And I had to have that conversation with him last week. And I said to him, this is what I want. And this is how this makes me feel. I don't like when you introduce me to your friends and family as your friend. I don't feel like it's just a friend. We're going to weddings together. We see each other all the time. You act like my boyfriend. So I feel like that's what it is. So you know what? After that conversation, he told me he was committed to me and he officially asked me to be his girlfriend right there, right
Wow.
there.
Wow.
I wasn't afraid. I knew that, I knew he would not want to lose me, judging
Exactly.
by, yeah,
It's not just saying the words. So
right,
I don't want to confuse people right now. It's not just saying the words, right? Or saying, if you don't declare that you are my partner, I'm gonna leave. But deep down, you're like jelly and thinking, oh my
right.
God, what is he gonna? It wasn't like that at all,
No, I wasn't
right?
worried at all. I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were basically very much tapped into your power.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And apologized and said, I'm sorry if I had a wall up. I just,
Wow.
he lost some people close to him, and he's just a little bit afraid of losing someone. So I think he was just being extra careful
Yeah.
and taking his time. But
Ah,
yes,
right. So he had his reasons. He had his
he
reasons.
had his reasons. It wasn't because he didn't like me or anything like that.
Yeah. So it's your first relationship, which, because you were saying earlier to me in text messages, I'm waiting for the 2 month threshold because I've never got to 2 months, and now we're getting to 2 months.
Never
Oh,
gotten past
wait.
2 months. We started hanging out in the beginning of August, so now we're in mid-October. I think we're on our third month. Yeah,
Wow.
so I
So
passed the, yeah.
you passed your own threshold.
I got over the hump.
So the miracle happened, huh?
It did. It did, and it feels really good. And we do talk about the future. He does talk about the future with me, and oh my God. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I feel like it could really be that. It really feels like that. There's no red flags. Everything is easy. I feel like I can be myself and bring any concern to him without being worried about it or being scared of losing him.
Yeah. That's exactly what we were
Hmm.
aiming for. This is
Right.
exactly what we're aiming for, right?
Yes.
And
Feels good. It feels so good.
yeah. And we didn't work on the guys. We worked purely
On myself.
on you and
On myself.
on your
Mhm.
energy, right?
My energy.
On
Right.
your energy, which
Yes. And I feel so secure now, and I feel so confident. It's such a great feeling. I used to feel so anxious all the time, and it's like
mm,
I didn't feel good enough to have a man. I feel totally confident, and I feel like, yes, I deserve this and I should have a man. There's no reason why I shouldn't. It's a whole different me. It's
yeah,
all because of your
yeah,
program. It's all because of you, because if it wasn't for this program, I think I'd be in the same predicament. I really do.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah.
needed the help. Hmm.
Yeah, and you realize, yeah, it was just an amazing journey, and
Right.
yeah. And do you think that, if someone is watching us and thinking, oh, she's maybe just lucky, why would it be?
Nope. Because I was that. I was you. I was that person who said, oh, it's never going to happen for me. They're just lucky. I really truly thought there's no one for me. This is not happening. I'm 35, everybody. I'm 35, and I'm attractive, and I still had a lot of trouble finding a man. So it's not that I'm lucky. Trust me, this program works because I saw the changes almost immediately.
Yeah, it feels pretty cool. But I'm just saying this because I remember, a few years back, I was watching relationship coaches or other women thinking, oh yeah, there's something special about her, right?
Right. Right.
But it's not true. I'm not different from you, and the women who are
Exactly.
watching us are not different from you and me, right?
Right. Exactly. Everyone can do it.
Uh,
Anyone can do it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Paula,
Yes.
you're a star, and
Thank you
yeah, send me an invite to your wedding when you're ready.
for getting an invite.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.